Yeah.
Hey, so I almost didn't make it into the studio today. It's been snowing here, and I live in a part of Boston, South Boston, that is notorious for parking issues. The streets are mostly two-way, but they're just wide enough for two-way traffic and parking on both sides when there is no snow. So as soon as there's any snow, the streets get narrower. It's chaos. People start parking all over the place. Now, we haven't had that much snow, so this hasn't been a big problem yet. Today, I've got my lunch together. I'm ready for the show. I'm ready to come in, open the garage door, and what is parked in front of the garage door? None other than some car that has been left there. In particular, an all-wheel drive car, which require a flatbed to be towed. This has never happened to me before. So I call the local police station. I say, listen, cars blocking a garage here. Now, as this is happening, other people who live in my building are starting to get into their cars, and we've got like a line inside the garage trying to get out. They say, oh, yeah, you've got to call like this other division. I'll transfer you, blah, blah, blah. A police officer eventually shows up, and they run the plates, and it's someone who doesn't really even live nearby, they figure out, and they say, it's really kind of dumb to just park in front of a garage. We wait around, and they start sending out a tow truck, and then we realize that the vehicle is all-wheel drive, like I said. So then they need to confirm that it's a flatbed truck because you can't use a wrecker apparently on a four-wheel drive vehicle. The entire thing took about an hour and a half, and I just stood there waiting to come to work. And what's amazing to me is that an hour and a half, Lewis, you would think the person having parked in front of a garage rather, would have been somewhat aware of the fact that they should be quick, whatever they're doing, didn't show up. I mean, the person, whatever they were doing, they may have just thought that this was a legitimate parking spot, even though you're in front of a garage door that clearly is operating 24 hours a day. I know the feeling of coming back, and then all of a sudden you look around, and the car is missing, and there's this like fraction of a second where you feel as if though it's like when your wallet is gone or your cell phone is gone and you've lost it. It is an absolutely horrible feeling. And I don't know what towing costs in Boston. The last time it happened to me, it was in Western Massachusetts. It was $150. I assume it's even more. They got a ticket. It was a disaster. But Lewis, the show must go on. I had to get into work today.
And everyone else in your building, I'm sure, had things to do as well.
Right.
I know whoever parked there probably just had no idea that there was a garage.
You think?
Right next to them.
It was plowed so differently. I mean, it was abundantly clear that it was a garage.
Well, when you look at the building, the garage kind of looks like the windows, and there's a similar color thing going on.
Oh, come on.
And if someone's in a hurry,
yeah,
they might not notice.
I understand in cities you have these complex parking signs where you sometimes have like 4 stacked signs which say like, okay, 2-hour parking Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Another sign on top of that. Resident parking except for holidays after 8 p.m. And then you've got another sign on top of that that says no parking at all during snow emergencies. And then you'll have another one above that which says weekend mornings are a commercial loading zone. Right? The signs are crazy. You know that garages, fire hydrants, and driveways, those are like the key things not to park in front of. Most city
and you know
parkers
what? I
know
still
that.
see people park in front of fire hydrants all the time, everywhere.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I never see that.
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
People do it. Yeah, and it's and I guess the driveway thing. I mean, I've never done that before, but on the way into the studio not too long ago, I noticed there was a car parked in front of a big loading bay. Okay, this is an industrial area. There's a lot of those loading bays.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get in with their forklifts or anything. There's a sign on the car that said, don't park in front of the effing loading bay or whatever.
People sometimes do put signs up in areas where it looks like maybe there's a spot, and it'll say something like, don't even think about parking in this spot. You will be towed. And I'm just like, I'm super, super careful. Unfortunately, so far, no tickets, no towing, none of that stuff. But yeah, somebody came back to what was an unpleasant missing car this morning. But as a result, the David Pakman Show did happen today. And for that, Lewis, we can all be grateful. Let's dispel with this notion that I didn't know what I was doing this morning. I knew exactly what I was doing.